the Supreme Lord is greatly stressed. Rupa Goswami has discussed the sequence of sinful activities of the conditioned soul, and he has established in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that those who engage in devotional service become freed from the reactions of all sinful activities. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord says that He takes charge of one who surrenders unto Him, and He makes him immune to all reactions to sinful activities. If by chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes so swiftly cleared of all reactions to sinful activities, then what is to be said of those persons who see him face to face? Another consideration here is that persons who are purified by the process of chanting and hearing become immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. Generally, only a person who is born in a family of Brahmanas who has been reformed by the 10 kinds of purificatory processes and who is learned in Vedic literature is allowed to perform the Vedic sacrifices. But here the word sadhya immediately is used. And Sridhar Swami also remarks that one can immediately become eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. A person born in a family of the low caste, which is accustomed to eat dogs, is so positioned due to his past sinful activities. But by chanting or hearing once in pureness or in an offenseless manner, he is immediately relieved of the sinful reaction. Not only is he relieved of the sinful reaction, but he immediately achieves the results of all purificatory process. Taking birth in the family of Brahmana is certainly due to pious activities in one's past life. But still, a child who is born in a family of Brahmana depends on his further reformation upon initiation into acceptance of a sacred thread and many other reformatory processes. But a person who chants the holy name of the Lord, even if born in a family of Chandalas, dog eaters, does not need reformation. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, he immediately becomes purified and becomes as good as the most learned Brahmana. Sridhar Swami remarks in this connection, Anena pujyatam lakshyate. Some caste Brahman remark that by chanting Hare Krishna, purification begins. Of course, that depends on the individual process of chanting. But this remark of Sridhar Swami is completely applicable if one chants the holy name of the Lord without offense. For he immediately becomes more than a Brahmana. As Sridhar Swami says, Pujyatvam, he immediately becomes as respectable as a most learned Brahmana can be allowed to perform Vedic sacrifices. If simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord one becomes sanctified instantly, then what can be said of those persons who see the Supreme Lord face to face and who understand the descent of the Lord as Devahuti understands Kapil Dev? Usually, initiation depends on the bona fide spiritual master who directs the disciple. If he sees that a disciple has become competent and purified by the process of chanting, he offers the sacred thread to the disciple just so that he will be recognized as 100% equal with the Brahman. This is also confirmed in Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sri Sanatana Goswami. As a base metal like bell metal can be changed into gold by a chemical process. Any person can similarly be changed into Brahmana by Diksha Vidhan, the initiation process. It is sometimes remarked that by the chanting process, one begins to purify himself and can take birth in his next life in a Brahmana family and then be reformed. But at this present moment, even those who are born in the best Brahmana families are not reformed, nor is there any certainty that they are actually born of Brahmana fathers. Formerly, the Garbhadan reformatory system was prevalent, but as the present moment there is no such Garbhadan or seed giving ceremony. Under these circumstances, no one knows if a man is factually born of a Brahmana father. Whether one has acquired the qualification of a Brahman depends on the judgment of the bona fide spiritual master. He bestows upon the disciple the position of a Brahman by his own judgment. When one is accepted as Brahmana in the sacred thread ceremony under the Pancharatrika system, then he is Dvija, twice born. That is confirmed by Sanatan Goswami, Dvijatvam Jayate. By the process of initiation by the spiritual master, a person is accepted as a Brahman in his purified state of chanting the holy name of the Lord. He then makes further progress to become a qualified Vaishnava, which means that the Brahmanical qualification is already acquired. Mangalachan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुवश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै नमस्ते साधु और निर्विशेष हरे कृष्ण. First of all, my humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. I seek your blessing so that I can say something which adds some value to this hour. So, like to thank Grace Madhupati Prabhu for engaging me in this seva so that I can do some Shastra reading, which increases my desire for devotional service. We are discussing this wonderful pastime, wonderful discussion between Mother Devahuti and Bhagwan Kapil. Bhagwan Kapil has described the Sankhya Yoga, the process of devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, analytical study of uh, the uh, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And now Mother Devahuti is offering her prayers. We can see that this so far what we have done is we have come across the discussion between we started by in the Naimisharanya in the first canto, and from there we have come to this discussion between Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, and from there we In that discussion, we came across the discussion between uh, Bidurji and Uddhava, and then Uddhava, how he redirected to Maitreya Muni, how Uddhava redirected Vidurji to Maitreya Muni. And then from there, we are into this pastime of Kardama Muni, how uh, Supreme Lord himself came and told him that I will take birth as your son. And when Swayambhu Manu comes to offer his daughter in marriage to you, please accept her on the bank of Bindu Sarovar. And that is what happened. Swayambhu Manu with his wife came, his wife Satrupa came and offered their daughter of their three daughters, Mother Devahuti, who was so beautiful that even Gandharvas and demigods will get enchanted by her beauty. And she renders wonderful, wonderful service to Kardama Muni, and he begots nine daughters. Uh, and he was about to take renunciation. And then Mother Devahuti reminds him that you are going, and who is going to take care of me? So you must beget a son, and that's how Bhagwan Kapil was born. And now Mother Devahuti and Bhagwan Kapil are discussing, and this is the last chapter where after this, even Bhagwan Kapil will um, go go out of the house, and Mother Devahuti is just remembering the discussion. And in today's verse, she's talking specifically about the glory of the potency of the Lord and His name. And it's such a wonderful thing. Um, we see that how sun purifies by his light and heat the entire earth. We Earth accepts various kinds of discharges from different animals and humans on its body. But uh, when the sun comes and with its heat and light purifies, then the clay becomes pure and can be engaged in uh, various various activities where it is not considered as impure. Just like that, uh, process of chanting Krishna's name, uh, remembering Krishna, these Navadha Bhakti, which is described by Prahlad Maharaj, is purifying in itself. And it's so purifying that it can raise one to no matter what is the state of birth and uh, of the person and what is the qualification, can raise to the highest position, that is Vaishnava. We also see that Krishna is confirming this, that uh, if you come to me, that's what Prabhupada is saying in the first paragraph of this verse's purport, that Krishna is confirming that if you come to me, I'm going to you become practically immune to any kind of rin, any kind of papa. He's saying that sarv dharman paritajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tam sarv papebhyo, all kinds of papas, all kinds of sinful activity. Aham tam sarv papebhyo mokshashyami, I'm going to remove you from there. Ma suchaha, please do not worry. Now, towards the end of the purport, Prabhupada warns, and even in the middle, he tells that, the since it should be that on the strength of this, you know, name, and on the strength of your surrender, one engages in the sinful activities, then that's not sincere surrender. And Prabhupada is time and again he is mentioning that if one is sincerely surrendered to the process of chanting, you know, uh, it's not something which one can just it's one of the 10 aparads that doing committing offenses or sins on the strength of the chanting of the holy. Okay? That's first consideration. um, and we can see that even in our yagyas which we perform, there is Krishna's name is taken for the purification of uh, our state. We say Om Keshwaya Namah, Om Narayana Namah, Om Madhava, and then we confirm, Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvastha no Yasmarit Pundrikaksham Sah Bhaya Abhyantara Shuchi. No? Uh, Whatever is the state one is, but just by remembering the Pundarikaksha, by the Lord who is lotus-eyed Lord, one becomes, internally and externally purified. And this is the reason why Lord Gauranga is said as the most munificent, because this name of uh, Hari, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, was very kept very secret before the advent of Mahaprabhu, and it was only accessible to um, certain classes of people, and they'll keep it very secret. But when Mahaprabhu came, he distributed it to everyone, and he's telling time and again, Nija Sarva Shakti, that Krishna has embedded all his potencies in in his name, and that's how there is this wonderful pastime um, in Vrindavan when Krishna, whenever Krishna will get into some kind of the Brijavasis will see that, oh, Krishna is being attacked by these different demons and is being killed. So they'll say that, oh, some evil eye has you know najar lag gayi hai, some evil eye is troubling Krishna, and they will purify Krishna with Krishna's name. They will just like any mother is trying to remove the evil eye from their kid, they'll perform some kind of purificatory process, and in that they chant the name of Krishna. So Krishna's name has so much potency that even Krishna is getting purified by that name. no? Uh, so that's why Mahaprabhu is considered the most munificent avatar, the most magnanimous one, because he's giving this holy name of uh, the Lord to everyone. Okay? And we can see that by the story of Ajamil, that how just by the nama bhas is. So there are two things which come in the story of Ajamil. We can look at it from two different angles. First angle is that, um, which Srila Prabhupada also touches in the purport, is that this verse that Yoga Brashta Vijayate Suchinam Srimatam Gehe. So those yogis who cannot complete, cannot uh, complete their yoga process, cannot achieve the ultimate goal, those bhakti yogis, in the next life, they get the birth in a family of Brahmana, or in the family of uh, a aristocratic family, Srimatam. Uh, so why that is the why we consider that better situation? Because in the family of Brahmana, there is right from the beginning, there is this samskaras, and then samskaras are the ones which purify one. We say that everyone is born as Shudra, and then by the process of samskara, one becomes Brahmana. But then Prabhupada is guarding that or warning that in Kali Yuga there is no Brahmana, because even uh, just by this chain of birth, taking birth in a specific family, but being devoid of any uh, spiritual activity, you're still that just Brahmana on the paper. That's not um, that's a caste. That's not something which is the actual Brahman, because actual Brahmanical quality means that one is engaged in the bhakti of the Supreme Lord. Okay? So that's what we can see from the story of Ajamil, that even though he was born in the family of Brahmana, but there is a chance of falling down, and he fell down, and then he got engaged with a prostitute. But the good thing which he did was he named his youngest child as Narayan, and he was very fond of this child. And towards the end of his life, he calls his son Narayan. And then Vishnu Dutas come and they chase away these Yamadutas. So that story tells that both the things. One is that one has to guard against the uh, one has to one has to be very careful about the association. One has to be very careful about uh, the clutches of Maya. In fact, I was when I was looking for or reading about this, I came across this wonderful pastime that uh, there is Prahladanand Swami. He's sharing that the night we all watched Prabhupada's arrival, because it was on television. Television cameras had recorded Prabhupada's airport arrival. Then Purushottam Prabhu came back and said that before Prabhupada went to sleep, he said, I pray to Krishna every night to please protect me from Maya. So, see, Prabhupada is, um, that's why he is Acharya. He is by his own example, he is uh, saying that he is setting this example. So that's how our prayers, our mood should also be, that we cannot just because by uh, some causeless mercy we are initiated in this process. Now we shouldn't become pompous um, and go around doing anything and everything. We have to be very careful, and we have to pray to Krishna for the protection. That sincerity has to be there. uh, and it is we also have to understand that it's not we are not the uh, sadhaka siddhas. We are not achieving anything by the on the strength of our sadhana. What we are achieving is on the strength of mercy. We are kripa siddhas, and we are kripa siddhas because there are Vaishnavas, our Shiksha Gurus, our Diksha Gurus are actually bestowing their mercy, and uh, they are giving us direction. They are engaging us in the uh, devotional service. They are engaging us in the bhakti of Supreme Lord and giving us protection by their association. So it's very very important. Otherwise, Krishna tells that sarvasya chaham hriday sannivishto mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha. It will not take even a fraction of a second to bring in this apohanam, the forgetfulness, because when there is no sincerity and we don't value this association and protection of the devotees of the community, then that can immediately be taken away. Now, we suddenly develop this nonsense in our heart, and will be going in a totally different direction. So, what today's verse is describing with Mother Devahuti is praying and telling that this process of hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna is very purifying. It purifying, so much purifying that it can take us to the position of Vaishnava immediately, and then this person can get engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord directly. So what to speak of those who are having the direct darshan? But at the same time, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is guarding us against, warning us against the insincerity. And he's saying that this is only available to those who are sincerely engaged in this process. Okay? And it's not something which is very, easily, or it's easily available, but it's not something which one should take lightly. So with that, I'd like to stop here. And if there are any corrections, questions that can be taken up in the mouth, over to you, Madhupali Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Akhilesh Krishna. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead, and we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Nrsingo Jai Nrsingo Jai Jai Nrsingo Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringam Ugraviram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukam Nrsingham Bhisham Vedram Mityam Namami Nrsinga Bhagavana Ki Jai Maharaj Ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Samal Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpatarubhayascha kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavaninayo Vaishnavebhyo namaha. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, पाद की जय, और प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल. Thank you, Akhilesh Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Akhilesh Prabhu. Hare Krishna.